There are lots of different kinds of drums too, like this. It's called a steel drum. But you could also make your own drum out of an old pan using a couple of wooden spoons. Just make sure you ask an adult nicely first. Drums are great fun, but do you know how they're made? Let's go find out. How is it made?
A drum!
We're in a drum factory, and making a drum begins with this. Here we have lots of very thin slices of wood. It's called veneer, and it's the first thing we need to make a drum. Come with me, and I'll show you how this turns into this. For each drum, lots of layers of veneer are stuck together with a thin layer of glue. This makes the drum nice and strong. The glued together pieces of wood are now taken to a special machine that keeps them nicely pressed together while they dry. And now our thin sheets of wood are ready to be made into a drum. But can you see the wood is still really bendy? That's important because a drum is round, so our wood needs to be able to bend into a round shape. Listen to that wibbly wobbly sound. Doesn't it sound funny? The drum maker is choosing the bits he wants to make a pattern around the outside of the drum. And now the wood is ready to go inside this mould. Can you see that it's round? This gives the drum its round shape. The first sheet of wood is put inside the mould and pressed together. And now another sheet of wood is added. This sheet has a layer of glue on it, so it sticks to the inside of the first sheet. Once the drum is dry, it's ready to come out of the mould. It's a bit like getting a cake out of a baking tin. This bit is called the shell. It's beginning to look like a drum, isn't it? But there's a few more stages yet. The drum needs to be nice and smooth, so it has to be sanded. Sandpaper is rough on one side, like sand, and when you rub the paper against the wood, it takes off all the rough bits, so that when you use your drum, you don't get splinters. Now it's time for some colour. Each drum is spray painted by hand, and the drum makers use something called a stain. It's a bit like paint. It makes the wood look a bit darker, but it can get very messy. So I'm going to use my special camera to get closer to all of the action. Let's go and see. I've attached my special camera to a pole so I can stand a safe distance from the spray gun. Ready? Take it away. Wow! Look at the paint coming out of the spray gun. That looks amazing. I'm just using the screen so I can see what's happening on the special camera. Let's just make sure the paint is even all the way around the drum. Brilliant. Zach, do you think it's finished?
Yeah.
Ready to go. Wow! And this is what the drum shell looks like once it's been painted and dried. It looks brilliant, doesn't it? But what do you think is missing? It's the top part of the drum, the bit you hit to make the sound. And this is called the skin, or the head. And for that, we need a special sheet of plastic. But before we attach the drum's shell to the plastic skin, we have to drill some holes. Next, metal blocks called lugs are screwed into the holes, and the plastic skin is placed on top of the drum, with a metal hoop fixing it into place. The next thing to do is put the drum to the test and check it makes a great sound. Take it away. Wow, that sounds amazing! And there you have it, a shiny new drum. What was your favourite part of making a drum? Do you remember what the wooden part of the drum was called? That's right, it's the shell. Did you hear the wibbly wobbly sound the bendy wood made? And did you see how the drum was painted by a spray machine? Wow! So now you know how a drum is made, from the wooden sheets that make the shell to the stretched plastic that makes the top. And we learned how a piano works to play lovely music. Speaking of lovely music, there's only one thing left to do with this drum. See you next time.